Hello, beautiful soul. I want you to take a deep breath with me right now. Just breathe in slowly and let that breath fill your entire body with peace. As you breathe out, release any tension you're carrying about money, about bills, about not having enough. Just for this moment, let all of that go. I know why you're here today. You're here because somewhere deep inside, you feel like money is always just out of reach. Maybe you work so hard, yet the bills keep coming. Maybe you watch others seem to have abundance while you struggle to make ends meet. Maybe you feel guilty for even wanting more money. Or perhaps you feel angry that it seems so difficult to attract financial flow into your life. First, let me tell you something with all the love in my heart. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not destined to struggle with money forever. What you're experiencing right now is simply the result of old programming, old beliefs that were planted in your mind long before you even knew they were there. And just as these beliefs were learned, they can be unlearned. Just as these patterns were created, they can be changed. I want you to know that I understand what it feels like to worry about money. I understand what it feels like to check your bank account and feel that sinking feeling in your stomach. I understand what it feels like to want something better for yourself and your loved ones, yet feel stuck in the same financial patterns over and over again. You are not alone in this experience, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with you for wanting more abundance in your life. Money, at its core, is simply energy. It's a form of exchange, a way for us to share value with one another. Yet somewhere along the way, we've made it so much more complicated than that. We've attached our self-worth to our bank account. We've made it a measure of our success as human beings. We've turned it into something that creates fear instead of flow, anxiety instead of ease. But here's what I want you to understand. Your worth as a human being has absolutely nothing to do with the numbers in your bank account. You were born worthy of love, worthy of care, worthy of having your needs met abundantly. That worthiness didn't depend on what your parents earned. It didn't depend on what neighborhood you grew up in. It didn't depend on the clothes you wore or the car your family drove. You were born worthy, and you remain worthy right now, exactly as you are. The reason I'm starting here with your inherent worth is because this is where all financial transformation must begin. You cannot attract lasting abundance from a place of feeling unworthy. You cannot create sustainable wealth from a foundation of self-doubt. The universe responds to how you feel about yourself, and if deep down you don't believe you deserve good things, then good things will continue to feel just out of reach. So right now, as we begin this journey together, I want you to place your hand on your heart. Feel that gentle rhythm, that steady beat that has been with you since before you were born. That heartbeat is proof of your worthiness. That heartbeat is the universe saying yes to your existence, yes to your dreams, yes to your right to have abundance in every area of your life. The financial struggles you're experiencing are not happening to you because you're not good enough. They're happening because you learned certain beliefs about money that are now creating your reality. And the beautiful thing about beliefs is that they can be changed. What we're going to do together is gently examine where these beliefs came from, understand how they've been affecting your life, and then lovingly replace them with beliefs that support the abundant life you truly desire. Your money story began long before you earned your first dollar. It began in your childhood, in the home where you grew up, through the conversations you overheard and the attitudes you absorbed. Every family has a money story, spoken and unspoken beliefs about what money means, who deserves it, how hard you have to work for it, and what kind of person you have to be to have it. Think back to your earliest memories about money. What did you learn by watching the adults around you? Was money discussed openly in your home, or was it whispered about behind closed doors? Did your parents argue about bills? Did they worry out loud about having enough? Or perhaps money was never discussed at all, creating a sense of mystery and fear around the whole subject. Maybe you grew up hearing phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, or we can't afford that, or rich people are greedy. Maybe you learned that wanting money made you selfish, or that good people don't care about material things. Perhaps you absorbed the belief that you have to work extremely hard for every penny, or that money always comes with strings attached. These early messages about money became the foundation for your adult relationship with abundance. Even if you consciously disagree with some of these beliefs now, they may still be running in the background of your mind, quietly influencing your financial decisions and your ability to receive prosperity. Your family's money story often goes back generations. The grandmother who lived through the Great Depression and saved every penny out of fear. The grandfather who worked 3 jobs and still worried about not having enough. The parents who equated love with sacrifice and taught you that wanting things for yourself was somehow wrong. These patterns get passed down like invisible inheritances, shaping how we think and feel about money without us even realizing it. But here's what I want you to understand. Just because these beliefs were passed down to you doesn't mean you have to keep them. Just because this was your family's relationship with money doesn't mean it has to be yours. You have the power to choose new beliefs, to create a new money story, to break the patterns that no longer serve you. Your self-worth and your financial worth became intertwined somewhere along the way. Maybe you learned that your value as a person was connected to how much you achieved or how much you earned. Maybe you absorbed the message that you had to prove your worthiness through struggle and sacrifice. Perhaps you came to believe that having money would make others think you were showing off or getting above yourself. The truth is, your financial worth and your personal worth are completely separate things. You can be an absolutely wonderful person and still struggle with money. You can be kind, loving, generous, and hardworking and still have financial challenges. Your bank account is not a reflection of your character, your intelligence, or your value as a human being. When we tie our self-worth to our financial worth, we create a painful cycle. When we don't have enough money, we feel bad about ourselves. When we feel bad about ourselves, we make decisions from fear instead of love. When we make decisions from fear, we often create more of what we don't want, and around it goes. This is why healing our relationship with money must begin with healing our relationship with ourselves. This is why attracting abundance starts with recognizing our own inherent worth. You cannot build lasting prosperity on a foundation of self-doubt and unworthiness. Now let's gently begin to release some of these old patterns that have been keeping you stuck. The first step in releasing any limiting belief is to bring it into the light of awareness. You cannot change what you're not willing to see, and you cannot heal what you're not willing to feel. I want you to think about the beliefs about money that you know aren't serving you. Maybe it's the belief that there's never enough. Maybe it's the fear that wanting money makes you selfish. Perhaps it's the idea that you don't deserve good things, or that financial abundance is only for other people, not for someone like you. As these beliefs come to mind, I want you to treat them with the same compassion you would show a frightened child. These beliefs served a purpose once. They were your mind's way of trying to keep you safe, trying to help you fit in, trying to protect you from disappointment or rejection. They weren't created to hurt you, even though they may be limiting you now. Thank these old beliefs for trying to protect you, and then gently let them know that you're ready to choose something different now. You're ready to believe in your own worthiness. You're ready to open your heart to abundance. You're ready to trust that the universe wants good things for you. Forgiveness is such an important part of this process, and it begins with forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself for any financial mistakes you've made. Forgive yourself for the times you chose fear over love. Forgive yourself for believing you weren't good enough or worthy enough to have what you desired. You were doing the best you could with the understanding you had at the time. Now extend that forgiveness to your family, to the people who first taught you about money. They were also doing the best they could with their own inherited beliefs and fears. They passed on to you what they learned from their parents, who learned from their parents. This doesn't mean you have to keep these patterns, but understanding where they came from can help you release them with love instead of anger. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or excusing harmful behavior. It means freeing yourself from the burden of carrying old resentments and hurts. When you hold on to anger about your financial past, you keep yourself energetically tied to those old patterns. When you forgive, you create space for something new to enter your life. Let's talk about something that most people don't realize. Your body is constantly responding to your thoughts about money. Every time you think a fearful thought about your finances, your body tenses up. Every time you worry about bills, your shoulders might tighten. Every time you feel anxious about not having enough, your breathing might become shallow. Your body doesn't know the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. So when you think thoughts of financial fear, your body responds as if you're actually in danger. This physical response to money stress creates a very real block to abundance. When your body is in a state of stress and fear, you're not open to receiving. You're in survival mode, focused on protecting what little you have rather than allowing more to flow in. Your nervous system is on high alert, scanning for problems instead of opportunities. This state of contraction makes it very difficult for abundance to reach you. Think about how you feel in your body when you're worried about money. Notice where you hold that tension. Some people feel it in their stomach, like a tight knot of worry. Others feel it in their chest, like a heavy weight pressing down. Some feel it in their shoulders and neck, carrying the burden of financial stress like a physical load. This isn't just in your imagination. This is your body's real response to your thoughts and fears about money. Now think about how you feel when you're relaxed and at peace. Your breathing is deeper, your muscles are soft, your heart feels open. In this state, you're naturally more creative, more intuitive, more able to see possibilities that weren't visible when you were stressed. This is the state from which abundance flows most easily. The energy of money is very much like the energy of love. It flows freely when we're open and contracts when we're closed. When you're in a state of fear and tension, you're energetically closed off from receiving. But when you're in a state of love and trust, you become a magnet for all good things, including financial abundance. This is why so many lottery winners end up losing their money within a few years. They might have won millions of dollars, but if their inner energy is still one of fear and scarcity, they can't hold on to the abundance. The money flows out as quickly as it flowed in because they haven't changed their internal relationship with prosperity. True abundance isn't just about having money in the bank. It's about feeling abundant, thinking abundantly, living from a place of plenty rather than lack. When you shift your internal energy from scarcity to abundance, money begins to flow more easily because you're no longer blocking it with fear and tension. Start paying attention to abundance that's already present in your life. The air you breathe is abundant. You never worry about running out of oxygen. The water that flows from your tap is abundant. The sun rises every morning without fail, abundantly giving its light and warmth. Nature is constantly demonstrating abundance all around you. Look at a tree in spring. It doesn't produce just one leaf. It produces thousands. Look at the ocean. It doesn't hold back its waves. Look at the stars in the night sky. There are more than you could ever count. The universe operates from a principle of abundance, not scarcity. There is enough for everyone, including you. When you begin to notice and appreciate the abundance that already surrounds you, you train your mind to see plenty instead of lack. You start to understand that you live in an abundant universe and you are part of that abundance. This shift in perception creates a shift in your energy, which creates a shift in what you attract into your life. The way you talk to yourself about money creates your financial reality. Most people don't realize how harsh and limiting their inner money conversation really is. All day long, there's a little voice in your head commenting on your financial situation, and for most people, that voice is not very encouraging. Listen to the thoughts that run through your mind about money. Do you catch yourself thinking things like, "I can't afford that," or "money is so tight," or "I'll never have enough"? Do you tell yourself that you're bad with money or that you always make poor financial decisions? Do you assume that good financial opportunities are for other people, not for you? These thoughts aren't just harmless mental chatter. They're actually instructions you're giving to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious believes what you tell it, and it works tirelessly to make your thoughts become reality. If you constantly tell yourself that money is scarce and difficult to come by, your subconscious will find ways to make that true for you. But here's the wonderful news. You can change this internal conversation at any time. You can choose to speak to yourself about money with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer a dear friend. You can train your mind to look for opportunities instead of obstacles, possibilities instead of problems. Instead of saying, "I can't afford that," try saying, "I'm choosing to spend my money on other priorities right now." Instead of "money is so tight," try, "I'm grateful for the money I have, and I'm open to more flowing into my life." Instead of "I'll never have enough," try, "I have enough for today, and I trust that tomorrow will bring what I need." This isn't about lying to yourself or pretending you have money when you don't. It's about shifting from language that keeps you stuck to language that opens up possibilities. It's about speaking to yourself in ways that support your growth instead of limiting it. Your brain is constantly creating new neural pathways based on your repeated thoughts and experiences. Every time you think a scarcity thought, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with lack and limitation. Every time you think an abundant thought, you strengthen the pathways associated with prosperity and possibility. The beautiful thing about the brain is that it's incredibly adaptable. You can literally rewire your thinking patterns by consciously choosing different thoughts. It takes practice and patience, but you can train your mind to default to abundance instead of scarcity, opportunity instead of limitation. Start catching yourself when you slip into scarcity thinking and gently redirect your thoughts toward abundance. Don't judge yourself for having fearful thoughts. Just notice them and choose again. Each time you make this conscious choice, you're building stronger neural pathways for prosperity thinking. Now let's talk about a powerful tool for transforming your relationship with money: affirmations. I know some people feel silly about affirmations, but they work because they help you consciously choose the thoughts you want to think, instead of just accepting whatever thoughts happen to pop into your mind. The key to effective affirmations is to choose statements that feel believable to you right now. If you're struggling financially and you try to affirm, "I am a millionaire," your mind will reject that because it's too far from your current reality. Instead, start with affirmations that feel like a gentle stretch, something your mind can begin to accept. You might start with affirmations like, "I am open to receiving money in expected and unexpected ways," or "I am willing to believe that I deserve financial abundance," or "Every day I am growing more comfortable with having money." These feel more believable than jumping straight to statements about being wealthy. As you work with affirmations, pay attention to how they feel in your body. The right affirmations will create a sense of expansion, a feeling of possibility. If an affirmation makes you feel contracted or resistant, it might be too big a leap for right now. Adjust it until it feels good to say. Some powerful money affirmations to consider. Money flows to me easily and frequently. I deserve to be financially comfortable. I make decisions about money from a place of wisdom and love. There is always enough money for what I truly need. I am grateful for the money I have, and I welcome more. Mirror work is one of the most effective ways to change deep-seated beliefs about yourself and your worth. Looking into your own eyes while saying affirmations helps you connect with the truth of who you are beneath all the old programming and limiting beliefs. Start by simply looking at yourself in the mirror with compassion. Many people find this difficult at first because we're not used to looking at ourselves with love. But your eyes are the windows to your soul, and when you look into them with kindness, you're acknowledging your own divine nature. Begin with simple affirmations while looking in the mirror. I love and accept you exactly as you are. You are worthy of all good things. You deserve to feel financially secure and abundant. It might feel awkward at first, but persist. You're healing a lifetime of negative self-talk. As you become more comfortable with mirror work, you can include specific money affirmations. You are good with money. You make wise financial decisions. Money likes you and wants to stay with you. You deserve to receive abundance in all forms. The best times to practice affirmations and mirror work are first thing in the morning and last thing at night, when your mind is most receptive to new programming. But you can also use them throughout the day whenever you notice scarcity thoughts creeping in. Remember, you're not trying to convince yourself of something that isn't true. You're remembering something that has always been true. You are worthy of love, you are worthy of abundance, and you deserve to have your needs met abundantly. These affirmations are simply helping you reconnect with your inherent worth. Creating daily practices around abundance is like watering a garden. Consistency matters more than intensity. You don't need to spend hours each day working on your money mindset, but you do need to show up regularly with love and intention. Small, consistent actions create powerful shifts over time. Let's start with the practice of gratitude, because gratitude is like a magnet for more good things. When you appreciate what you already have, you send a signal to the universe that you're ready to receive more. But this isn't about forcing yourself to feel grateful when you're struggling. This is about finding authentic appreciation for whatever abundance is already present in your life. Every morning, before you even get out of bed, take a moment to appreciate 3 things about your current financial situation. Maybe you're grateful that you have a roof over your head. Maybe you appreciate that you were able to buy groceries this week. Maybe you're thankful for a friend who treated you to coffee. Start wherever you can, even if it feels small. As you go through your day, look for moments of abundance to appreciate. The free sunset, the library book you're enjoying, the kind smile from a stranger, the comfortable clothes you're wearing. These might not seem related to money, but they're all forms of abundance, and recognizing them trains your mind to see plenty instead of lack. Keep a gratitude journal specifically for money and abundance. Each evening, write down 3 things you appreciated about your financial day. Maybe you found $1 in your pocket. Maybe someone paid you back money they owed. Maybe you realized you spent less than you thought you would on something. These small appreciations add up to big shifts in your energy. Visualization is another powerful daily practice. but it needs to feel real and believable to you. Instead of trying to visualize yourself as a millionaire if that feels too far away, start with visualizing yourself feeling financially peaceful and secure. See yourself paying bills with ease. Picture yourself making financial decisions from a place of calm confidence rather than fear and stress. When you visualize, engage all your senses. How does it feel in your body to be financially relaxed? What does your breathing feel like when you're not worried about money? How do you carry yourself when you feel financially secure? What kinds of conversations do you have about money when you're coming from abundance instead of lack? Spend just 5 minutes each day in this visualization. See yourself receiving money in various ways, through your work, through unexpected sources, through opportunities that appear in your life. Feel the joy and gratitude of receiving. Picture yourself using money wisely and generously. Make it real in your mind and heart. Create simple abundance rituals that remind you throughout the day that you live in a prosperous universe. Maybe you carry a special coin in your pocket, and every time you touch it, you remember that money is simply energy and it wants to flow to you. Maybe you say a little blessing every time you spend money, appreciating both what you're receiving and what you're able to give. When you receive money, no matter how small the amount, take a moment to really feel gratitude. Don't just quickly stuff it in your wallet or purse. Hold it for a moment and say thank you. Appreciate that money has chosen to come to you. This practice helps you become more conscious of the money that's already flowing into your life. Practice treating money with respect and care. Keep your bills organized and your financial spaces clean. When you treat money well, you're sending a message that you value it and you're ready to receive more. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect with your finances, just that you're bringing consciousness and care to your relationship with money. Setting intentions around money is different from setting goals. Goals are often about forcing something to happen, while intentions are about aligning yourself with what you want to attract. Each week, set a gentle intention around money. Maybe it's, I intend to be open to new sources of income, or I intend to make one financial decision from love instead of fear, or I intend to notice abundance in unexpected places. Now, while inner work is absolutely essential for attracting money, you also need to take practical action in the physical world. The universe responds to your energy, but it also responds to your willingness to show up and participate in creating what you want. Think of it as a partnership between you and the universe. You do your inner work, and you also do your outer work. Taking inspired action means moving from a place of inspiration rather than desperation. When you're desperate, you tend to make poor decisions because you're operating from fear. When you're inspired, you make choices that align with your highest good and often lead to opportunities you couldn't have planned. Pay attention to the ideas that come to you when you're relaxed and peaceful. These gentle inspirations are often guidance about steps you can take to improve your financial situation. Maybe you feel inspired to update your resume. Maybe you get an idea for a side project. Maybe you feel called to have a conversation with someone about a potential opportunity. Don't dismiss these inspirations as unrealistic or impractical. Your intuition often sees possibilities that your logical mind misses. That doesn't mean you should quit your job based on a random idea, but it does mean you should pay attention to the gentle nudges you receive and take small steps in those directions. Look for opportunities to add value in your current situation. When you focus on how you can contribute more, serve better, or solve problems more effectively, you often find that increased compensation follows naturally. This isn't about working yourself to exhaustion, but about bringing more consciousness and care to whatever work you're already doing. Be willing to learn new skills or expand your knowledge in areas related to money. Maybe you take a course on personal finance. Maybe you read books about investing or entrepreneurship. Maybe you learn about different ways people create income. Education and knowledge are investments in your financial future. Network with people who have a healthy relationship with money. Spend time with people who talk about abundance instead of scarcity, who see opportunities instead of obstacles. You become like the people you surround yourself with, so choose companions who support your growth toward financial abundance. When opportunities present themselves, even small ones, say yes when you can. Maybe someone offers you a small freelance project. Maybe there's a chance to pick up an extra shift. Maybe a friend mentions a networking event. These small yeses often lead to bigger opportunities down the road. Trust the process, even when you can't see the whole path ahead. You don't need to know exactly how abundance is going to come to you. Your job is to stay open, take inspired action when it feels right, and trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Let's be honest about something. Your journey to financial abundance won't always be smooth. There will be setbacks, disappointments, and moments when you feel like giving up. This is normal and natural, and it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong or that abundance isn't meant for you. When financial disappointments happen, your first instinct might be to panic or fall back into old patterns of fear and scarcity thinking. But these moments are actually opportunities to practice staying aligned with abundance even when external circumstances suggest otherwise. This is where your real power lies, not in controlling outcomes, but in maintaining your inner state of abundance regardless of what's happening around you. Treat setbacks as temporary detours rather than permanent roadblocks. Every successful person has faced financial challenges and disappointments. What separates those who eventually create abundance from those who remain stuck is how they respond to these difficult moments. Do they use setbacks as evidence that they're not meant to have money? Or do they use them as opportunities to strengthen their commitment to abundance? When something doesn't work out financially the way you hoped, take time to feel whatever emotions arise. It's okay to feel disappointed, frustrated, or sad. Don't try to immediately jump into positive thinking before you've processed your feelings. Honor your emotions, let yourself feel them fully, and then gently guide yourself back to thoughts and feelings that support your abundance. Look for the lessons in every setback. Maybe a financial disappointment is teaching you to trust your intuition more. Maybe a business venture that didn't work out is showing you skills you need to develop. Maybe a job loss is pushing you toward something better that you never would have discovered otherwise. This doesn't mean you should be grateful for painful experiences, but you can look for ways they might be serving your growth. Remember that abundance isn't just about money. It's about having enough of everything you need to live a fulfilling life. Even during financial challenges, you can still experience abundance in your relationships, your health, your creativity, your connection to nature. Staying connected to these other forms of abundance helps you maintain perspective during money difficulties. Practice patience with the process. Our culture wants everything instantly, but real transformation takes time. You might have been practicing scarcity thinking for decades. It's unrealistic to expect abundance thinking to become natural overnight. Be gentle with yourself as you learn new patterns. Celebrate small progress instead of demanding perfection. During challenging times, return to your daily practices with even more dedication. This is when affirmations, gratitude, and visualization become most important. When everything around you seems to suggest scarcity, these practices help you remember the truth of your abundance. They're like anchors that keep you steady during storms. Reach out for support when you need it. This might mean talking to friends who understand your journey, working with a counselor or coach, or joining groups of people who are also working on their relationship with money. You don't have to figure this out alone, and asking for help is actually a form of self-love, not weakness. Trust that this challenging period is temporary. Every difficult financial phase you've been through before eventually ended, and this one will too. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "How is this experience helping me grow stronger and wiser?" This shift in perspective can help you move through difficulties with more grace and less resistance. Beautiful soul, as we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to take a moment to really feel how far you've already come. Just by being here, just by being willing to look at your relationship with money with honesty and love, you've already begun the transformation process. Change begins the moment you decide you're ready for something different, and you've made that decision today. I want you to envision your life 6 months from now, a year from now, after you've been practicing these new ways of thinking and being around money. Picture yourself making financial decisions from a place of calm confidence instead of fear and stress. See yourself receiving money with joy and gratitude instead of surprise and worry. Imagine how it will feel to trust that you always have enough, that you are always taken care of, that abundance is your natural state. This future version of yourself isn't a fantasy, it's a possibility that becomes more real every time you choose love over fear, abundance over scarcity, trust over worry. Every time you speak kindly to yourself about money, every time you practice gratitude for what you have, every time you take inspired action toward your financial goals, you're building a bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Remember that you don't have to transform everything at once. Start with one small change, one new thought, one different choice. Maybe tomorrow you wake up and say one money affirmation with feeling. Maybe you notice 3 things to be grateful for financially. Maybe you catch yourself in one moment of scarcity thinking and gently choose a more abundant thought instead. These small shifts accumulate into big changes over time. Your relationship with money is really your relationship with yourself. As you learn to love and value yourself more deeply, as you recognize your own worth and deservingness, as you treat yourself with the kindness and respect you would show a beloved friend, your external relationship with money will naturally begin to reflect this inner transformation. Trust the process, even when you can't see immediate results. Trust your own wisdom and intuition. Trust that the universe wants good things for you. Trust that you have everything within you needed to create the abundant life you desire. You are worthy of financial peace. You are worthy of having enough. You are worthy of abundance in all its forms. The journey to financial abundance is ultimately a journey home to yourself, to the truth of who you really are beneath all the old programming and limiting beliefs. You are a beautiful, worthy, deserving child of the universe, and abundance is your birthright. It's not something you have to earn or prove you deserve. It's something you were born worthy of simply because you exist. Carry this knowing in your heart as you go forward. Let it guide your thoughts, your words, your actions, and your choices. You have everything you need within you to create the abundant life you dream of. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and trust that love will show you the way. Your abundance is not only possible, it's inevitable when you align with the truth of your own worth. Go forward with love, go forward with trust, and go forward knowing that your abundance is already on its way to you.